Welcome to the Granny Square series. Today we're going to be looking at this little, I've called it the Clematis square because it reminds me of a clematis. And there it is on my scrap yarn blanket. I'm using Stylecraft Special DK acrylic yarn in wisteria with a 4mm hook. So we're starting with a double magic circle, and then we're going to make a US double, UK treble, and chain one, and we're going to do that 8 times. You don't want your tension on this square to be too loose, so if you find that it is coming up loose, maybe go down a hook size. So 8 stitches, US doubles, UK trebles, and 8 chain spaces, and I'll see you at the end of the round. I'm just making my last stitch, stitch number 8, and chain 1, and I'm going to pull the circle tight. So pull on the tail end, see which loop tightens first, pull that loop tight, and then pull the tail. And we're going to slip stitch into the first chain space to finish round 1. So at the end of round 1 you'll have 8 stitches and 8 chain spaces. Round 2 we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to make a 2-stitch cluster using US doubles, UK trebles. Yes, that's 2 stitches together into the chain space, chain 3, and then we're going to make the same stitch again into the same chain space, a 2-stitch cluster using US doubles, UK trebles. We're then going to chain 1 and slip stitch into the next chain space, chain 1, and that's our repeat. So we're going to go into the next chain space with a 2-stitch cluster, chain 3 and a 2-stitch cluster, chain 1, and then go into the next chain space and slip stitch, chain 1, and repeat. So that's we're making the corners with those chain 3 spaces. And I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm just making my last cluster now. Chain 1 and slip stitch into the chain space. Chain 1, and we're then going to slip stitch into the first cluster. Squeaky yarn. And then we're going to slip stitch into the chain space. So at the end of round 2 we should have 4 corners, and 8 petals. Those clusters of petals. So for round 3 we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to make a 2-stitch cluster, the same as we just did with the US doubles, UK trebles. We're then going to chain 3, and we're going to make another 2-stitch cluster. We're then going to chain 2, and we're going to be using US trebles, UK double trebles, and we're going to make 2 together. We're going to start the first one in this chain space, so we yarn over twice, insert the hook, pull the yarn through, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're now going to start our next stitch, so we're going to yarn over twice, and we're going to hop across to the next chain space. We're going to go in there, pull the yarn through. We should have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, chain 2, and we're then going to make a 2-stitch cluster in the corner, chain 3 and another 2 stitch cluster, and that's our repeat. We're going to go all the way around like so, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I've just made my last cluster. I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to make the 2 US trebles, UK double trebles together. The first one in this corner, and then before finishing it, I'm going to start the next one in the next corner. And then chain 2. We're going to slip stitch into the first cluster, and then slip stitch into the chain space to finish round 3. So round 4, we're going to chain 1, and round 4 is just a granny square round. So we're going to do we're in the corner. I'm going to do the first, I'm going to do my first stitch there, yeah, a US double, UK treble, and then I'm going to chain 2 and then make 3 more stitches. So we'll have to do those last 2 stitches when we get back round at the end of the round, yeah. So after 3 stitches, US doubles, UK trebles, hop across to the chain 2 space and make 3 more stitches. After 3 stitches, hop across, make 3 more stitches. After 3 stitches, we'll be at the corner. So you're going to make 3 stitches, chain 2, 3 stitches, and that's our repeat. So we're going to go all the way around, and I'll see you at the end. So I'm just making the last stitch on that last group of 3 stitches, and I'm back at the corner where we started. So I've got those last 2 stitches to make to finish that corner off. And then we're just going to slip stitch into the corner to finish, and then you're going to want to block the square, but there it is, cute, and I'll see you next time.